everybody. Welcome to another episode and also call MAFS. I am your host, Tane, here to talk about Love is Blind France. And with me is my co host, Brian from Maps Virgin. Hi, Brian. How are you?
I am happy. This show's a mess. This is what I want. This is what Love is Blind needs to always be. Real happy.
That song is playing. What's that weekend song? This is it that I live for. This is shit
hmm
that I live for. Honestly,
They did it.
we were just talking about this. There's no filler episode. Every episode,
Mm-mm.
it's just three. They're not giving us or beating us over the head with a lot of episodes per drop, but everything is filled to the brims with everything that we love: the cuteness, the drama, the insanity. So, it's good.
We got the family drama we're always warned about that never actually happens. We really got it this time around. Like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. So, all right, let me remind you guys that you can get bonus episodes on Patreon. Patreon.com/ autocall MAFS. I have a 30% sale going on right now. You can get bonus episodes on the challenge, which Brian just mocked off air, but I'm not going to bring that up. You know,
Mock is strong.
it is the word I choose to use. So, um, you can get 90 days. Just had a bonus episode drop, and all things 90 days with Aid, happily ever after, and the other way is on there. So just check it out when you can. All right, we have some comments, Brian, that
Uh
I have
oh.
to share with you, and I have to share with everybody else.
Uh
You had a
oh.
personal comment. No, it's all nothing bad. You had a personal comment from when we covered Love Is Blind UK
hmm
when you told the story, I think, of how you wooed your wife, and it was like Brian did his own Can't Hardly Wait. Fantastic.
Oh. It's my favorite movie. My favorite teen movie of all time is Can't Hardly Wait. And I hosted a teen movie podcast for like 4 years. So
Wow.
yeah, I absolutely did that.
So, yeah, so good for you. And
hmm
then, we were talking about the teddy bear that Julie keeps clutching, her emotional support teddy bear. And I'm like, where did that come
hmm
from? Where'd that go? I don't know what happened to us, but we got comments. Katrina was like, hi,
Uh
guys. The teddy bear was a gift from Charles. He's had it his whole life, and the belt wrapped around it was from his mom. He gave it to her in the pods. I don't know how you
oh. I have no recollection of this.
like that
Like,
is
it
not
sounds
even
awesome. And
a thing
did
in
I
my
have a
memory
stroke?
box.
I need to call a neurologist. I'm a little bit concerned about myself right now in this moment.
Don't worry, there are two of us, and not like I'm the person that you should be
You should
banking
also,
on.
I'll give him your
Yeah,
number too.
yeah, it was the fact that he had it his whole life. There was a belt from his mom. Like we missed all of
Wow.
that.
Wow, wow, wow,
Apologies,
wow, wow.
because I'm sure it's annoying. Where you're like, did you even watch the show? You're talking about it, but thank you, Katrina,
I mean, this is
for
Sophie Sandra all over again.
yes, it is. Elizabeth Kate also said the same thing. I think Julie's teddy bear is Charles's that he gave her in the pods. But continuing with Katrina's comment, she's like, I don't know why they had to sleep separately. He wasn't being overtly touchy or lovey dovey towards her. That was overkill. I also wonder if the other girl would have felt the same way when seeing him, aka like them calling him an elf. And I think she means
hmm
Sarah, because the Mean Girls squad made fun of his stature. We'll talk about it because she made an appearance this batch,
Yeah.
and it seemed like she got her PR training. And we don't know
hmm
who this girl is. Not the villain we saw
I
at
don't know
all.
her.
Um, and a last coming from Amanda Barnes, love the name, and in quotes, Sandra Sophie, I'm dying. I was one of the people correcting you out loud. I'm never gonna leave this down. Every
I blame
single
myself
time.
because I heard it and I was like, what should I do? I can go one of two ways, and I chose cowardice.
Listen, Brian, this is Olivia. Let me just comment. Every time, love, 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 love the podcast. Thank you so much, Amanda. You have set in something in motion because I was co-hosting with, I want to say Jen, and I think I said something. I was correct, but she's like, I don't want another Sandra Sophie. Did you mean to say Virginia, or did you mean to? I was like, oh my
Listen,
god.
not for nothing. I'm a graphic designer. I make t-shirts. I can make merch if you if you want some Sandra Sophie merch.
Guys, we might be onto something. Let's do some Sandra Sophie. Sandra Sophie, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we should probably get in touch with her. Oh,
Yeah,
you can do that.
sure. Okay. So yeah, just wanted to get through those. Thank you guys for the comments. It's always so nice to know that you guys are enjoying what we are putting out. So we embrace it. We want it. Send it in only if it's kind. Um, let's just get into this because we have a lot that we need to cover. But I have a question for you before we go in.
Mhm.
Which do you think ranks number one with this franchise? Is it that they have a lot of emotions, a lot of insecurity, or a lot of immaturity?
Oh, I'm gonna put emotions last because to me,
Okay.
emotions that can be a lot of things, and
Yeah.
this is not that. I might lean toward immaturity because I
Yeah.
think that insecurity is a problem here, and we're gonna see a lot of that. But I
Yeah.
also think that that doesn't have anything to do with your boy Yannick really just stumbling over the place with the perfume and then with the family meeting. Like that, I don't think that has anything to do with him being insecure. I don't think he handled a lot of that with an especially high amount of maturity.
But
So
he's just one
that's where I'm
person.
at.
With the rest of them, I feel like they feed off of that's why I put insecurity there. He's just
There's a
one like
lot of
the rest of it.
insecurity.
Yeah.
There's a
So
ton of it.
yeah.
Yeah, that is a good point. Because I kind of feel like if they go hand in hand, because if you're mature enough, you can say, okay, like this is an insecurity of mine. Let me talk to my partner about it. Let
Yes.
them know that like this is an issue that I'm having, and like can we do some things to handle that? Instead,
Yeah.
it's like no, fuck you and fuck your mom too, and we're just like, well, that's not that's not a productive way to
Like
handle anything,
in the click to clack West Side where we rock.
right? Yeah, dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. Like this is a lot going on here.
I think you are right though. Now, as you were speaking, I was thinking about it. I think it all the insecurity probably falls under the umbrella of immaturity because you can be
Mm-hmm.
insecure but mature, and then you can identify like, okay, this is my insecurity that's speaking, and then let me fix this and have a conversation. These people do not want to have conversations. They want to tell
No.
you what to feel, tell you what they feel, then tell you what
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do about it. And then if you
And
don't
then
follow
leave.
suit, you're a terrible person. Exactly.
That's right.
So
Oof, I love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, great for us, sucks for them
Yeah.
because they
Bad
allegedly
for
came for
them.
love. So
Well,
they have a long way to go if they're thinking about marriage. So, all right, the episode actually picks up with Cynthia. No, 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 with Kim and Thomas because that's the last thing that we saw when they were fighting. Kim comes to him and asks him if he wants to talk or if he wants to drop it. And this is after she was the one who walked away, guys, just to remind you. And
over nothing.
like we said, she's not like, oh, do you want to talk about it? She's like, do you want to talk or do you want to drop it? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So he
Mm-hmm.
says he doesn't know why she has to question everything and compare him to her exes and it hurts. And she's not like, no, I didn't mean to do that. She's like, nope, loyalty is important to me. Like, I
Yep.
didn't see it in public and we have to be a united front. And she's like, you manage your emotions different. Like, I'm just saying how I feel as a woman. And he's like, well, I'm just saying how I feel as a man. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
huh. Long way to go.
It's bad. It's getting bad.
So she says she's extremely disappointed, and he says he wondered if they were meant to be together at all. And I think I'm just baffled as to how this little thing broke them. And if
Mm-hmm.
this little thing has this much of an effect on them, they're truly not ready. And I want to put the
Yeah.
caveat that I know that they don't know each other.
Yeah.
That's always that big difference. It's not like they've dated. They were talking to each other on the pods, but I could also argue that you were doing nothing else. You're not going out on dates, you're not meeting families, you're not doing
Mm-hmm.
all you had to do was talk.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I kind of look at it, and I think we talked about before that before I got engaged, I had like a 2 year minimum that I had told myself because there's a number of things you're going to get through in a 2 year span that you're
Yeah.
not going to get to in like 6 months.
Yeah.
And one of those things is like not only having a fight, but seeing the person have a fight with somebody else.
Mm.
And like the way that somebody else fights with like someone they're mad at is can be shocking sometimes. Where I'm like, oh, you're hitting way below the belt, or like you're really
Yeah.
worked up in a way that I'm a little bit surprised by, or what have you. And I think that her default is like, if I am mad, no matter what I'm mad about, you need to be on my side. And if you're not, that's not being loyal to me.
Yeah.
And I think he's more from a perspective of like, well, there's going to be times where you're mad about something and I need to be the one to tell you, hey, what you're mad about might not be as big a deal as you're making it.
Mhm.
And I'm concerned that if this is how it happens the first time over something that isn't a big deal, that
Mhm.
like it's not, the end of the world, that what happens down the line when we have like a
Yeah.
real fight. So yeah, I think he's probably panicking in this moment a little bit. And for her not to come in like, oof, I flew off the handle, but for her to
Yeah.
come in like, and another thing, I'd be panicking if I was him too.
Yeah, and the third part is also like maybe we don't need to. She didn't need to get involved in this. The thing they're even
Mm-mm.
arguing about was not about you. It was about
That's what I'm
someone that's not
saying.
even here, and he's just like,
Right.
why are we even involved? So,
Yeah. I'm watching you fight with somebody else. And I'm like, why is this the fight you're even choosing to pick?
hmm
There's times where it's just like these are since I don't know you, and this is the
yeah,
first time I'm seeing you in conflict, I'm picking up a lot from this interaction. And there are flags I did not know were red that I'm discovering are red.
yeah, yeah. So she leaves him and goes back to the party as Cynthia and Jonathan make their entrance. And wow, looky here, Cynthia is in flats.
Sure is.
I'm sad that she's
My
friends with
heart
what I
broke.
call the mean girls because she went straight to them and she tells them about the fight. And they were like, yeah, we noticed. Like, you came in with flip flops and flowers on them with like disdain. Guys, I know it's the
Mm-hmm.
translation of the caption, but sometimes the caption is like as blunt as they are and it's hilarious.
It sounds funny dubbed because they have no emotion when they say it either. So it's just
Oh,
like, I mean, you came in here with like flip flops and flowers on. I'm just like, oh, oh, that sounds real cold.
so Charles pulls Jonathan aside and asks, what happened. And I chuckled when he said, she's a little bit taller than me. I'm like, a little bit?
Well, sure, okay.
A lot of it.
Uh
So
huh.
this man is still insisting that he wasn't upset because she's taller, but because of what people might say. That's really the summary of what it is, that you're worried about what the impression might be. She's not going to change. You're going to meet new people through the course of your, you know, relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
if anything, these people that you already have a relationship would not be the one where you should be so concerned. But you remember, he just kept saying, they're going to make fun of me, they're going to tease me.
Yep.
Who
They're gonna roast
cares?
me. I don't give
But
a
he's
shit.
he's worried that they might clash, and they all conclude that they're not in the pods anymore, so things are different. And while Cynthia is sharing everything, I did notice that Kim didn't share that she was having issues or they had a fight. Maybe it was wrong timing, like my friend is talking about something, maybe I don't bring up
Mm-hmm.
mine, or everybody saw it, so there's no need for me to bring it up again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go through this by couple because I did check this and I can't remember if I wrote it down. I was trying to see if they had more couples than usual, but maybe not. There's six of them. I mean, we have a breakup
Okay.
this episode, but I think for US we usually have five.
I was gonna say 5 or 6 sounds right to me.
Yeah, but they feel like a lot more. But I will say,
Mm-hmm.
because I was kind of like taking notes for couples by couples, they do focus on some couples way more than the others. Some couples
Yeah, there's
barely.
something that I forget are here.
Yeah, exactly. They're here and I'm like, yeah, Van Me.
Uh
Oh,
huh.
he's still here. Okay.
Nice
So,
cameo for you two.
so Kim and Thomas, after everything that happened the night before, Kim wakes up and says, oh, things are great. They had an eventful and constructive talk, and she was harsh and she said hurtful things. And Thomas is like, maybe I am too sensitive, but I really want things to work. I chuckled when he turned to her and says, I look old, don't I? And I'm like, Brian, I'm tagging you in on this.
I mean, you don't look great. Like, there's things that we can do for our presentation.
Can I just say this, jumping way ahead, that for the preview next week, it looks like he got a haircut for the wedding. Are you
Mm-hmm.
pleased? Are you
Yeah.
pleased?
Yes. It's such a little thing that can do so much. And again, I'm a proud bald. I've been bald more than half my life. I don't know from hair, but like it just seems like a little bit of attention can go a long way.
I mean, it feels like Thomas is trying to give that, what is that Taylor Swift album, the Tortured Poets Society look. Like, I'm an artiste.
Listen, I will say this. All right. All of these French people have better style than anybody that's ever been on any season of The American Love is Blind. When they have like, and I'm not going to jump ahead and talk about the actual shit. When they have like their get together with friends and family and they're back at home, I'm like, all these men dress better than any man I know. And they're just like kicking it around the house. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
is this
yeah.
with these wide leg jeans you guys have on and like a tailored sweater?
I,
Like I'm
I,
over
I,
here in like mesh shorts, like a hobo.
I hear envy, Brian. Like, are you okay?
Very much.
Are you okay?
Listen, no,
Cool.
I am technically in the fashion industry and have been for 13 years, and I can't dress anywhere near as well as these men. And I do envy it because I'm just like, it looks so effortless.
So
Like, and
effortless.
the women too. Like, everyone looks better than we look.
Yes, it's like a I was gonna say Tatiana, like those leather pants. What's that?
I'm
You know that
saying,
thing people do? 7 ways to wear this. She is worn
hmm
those every single batch.
I'm happy every time. She wore them again to the perfume place. I'm
Yes.
like, all right, there they are.
She's like, I wonder how much she paid for them. She's like, I am getting every goddamn cent that I
I'm
paid
wearing these shits out.
for. So, so it's so funny because when we first saw them, the last thing we saw was that they were fighting, and then the next thing we saw was them in bed and they were smirking, and I thought they were about to say they just had makeup sex or something like that. And I'm like, why did they set it up that way?
Right. It seemed like they probably did, and they just, I don't know if they did, but I hope they did, because otherwise I'm confused how they got it
Yeah,
together pretty quick here.
they sure did.
Yeah.
Then we see them going over for I want to say lunch or early dinner, and
Hmm.
Kim can't get over the fact that she's at Robuchon. Then she goes all the time in Paris, and I'm like, huh, I'm gonna expose myself. I am not familiar with this. I'm sure there are people that are like, oh my god, Robuchon. Not I.
I don't know what
So
this is.
I Googled and I just typed Robuchon and it was autofilled with Robuchon mashed potatoes, which is what she was trying to get him to eat, the same ones that she was
Oh.
gushing to Thomas about. So they are so popular, I guess. So now I have it on
Huh.
my list that I gotta try this mashed potatoes and I will let you know if it changed my life. So
Yeah.
Thomas says that she's a princess and she's used to eating at places like these, but their differences are way too different. So they don't know if that's gonna, work out. They talk about logistics when they go back into the real world, including time with his daughter, which they spend so much time talking about this daughter, and we have still not met this daughter. And I'm like,
Hmm.
when are the weddings? Because we got to make a choice, you know?
Yeah, I get it on the one hand. Like, I mean, you don't want to do it too quickly,
Yeah,
and things aren't always the smoothest with them. So it's kind of like timing it like double dutch. Like, is today going to be a good day or a bad day? But
yeah.
it's getting kind of down to the wire, and you're going to
Yeah,
want to establish something before the actual wedding day.
it is so tricky. Back when Aid was still co-hosting with me, we talked about, I think that was the Jessica season, when you come on these shows when you have a kid. Like Tatiana always says, you should have a life. No one's saying like a single parent, men or women. And I think I'm saying women because the men don't care. They're just moving on.
Right.
Tatiana kind of, we're going to talk about it. She carries it kind of like a cross. And I'm like, it
Hmm.
really shouldn't be. But, society, I don't blame her. That's what it is. It's okay for them to do that, but I just feel like the timing, the adults can make a choice to get married, the timing, you can get divorced, but when a kid is involved, I think I'm
Hmm.
more sensitive when a kid is, and I feel like you do need time to feel it out. You can't do one visit and then that's it. And I feel the
No.
same way, like things like with Love After Lockup. These people are just coming out of jail, and you're telling these people, and you're calling
Oh.
them daddies, and you don't know anything about them. Is it a safe
Mm-mm.
environment? We don't know. And whether level up or not, I am a paranoid person. And I'm just like, do we know this person enough? Is my kid safe enough to be with them? Can we live with
Yep.
them? Especially people who've never had kids, had no interaction. My kid is not going to be the test guinea pig to figure out how this
No.
is going to work. So my only gripe is just there's not enough to fit it in. You might be great. You might be feeling great. You've had time to spend with them. They've not. And then they have to live this life with someone new. Yes, it
Yep.
worked out in Mexico, but I kind of feel like she introduced him early. She introduced
Yeah.
her daughter early to him, and they had, the kid come over and there was some kind of interaction. Still not enough, but at
Hmm.
least there was something.
There was
Now, for you
something.
to commit your life to someone and that person hasn't spent time with your kid and your kid hasn't,
Listen, my son is 6. He's often shy around new people, for the first like 30 seconds, and all of a sudden he's a chatterbox. But I cannot imagine him meeting somebody one time and then being like, okay, so they live with us now. Like, he would lose his fucking mind. He'd be like, wait, hold on a minute, wait a minute, let's talk about this. He's a very
yeah,
logical kid. So he'd
yeah,
be like, okay, so where are they going to stay?
yeah.
How are we going to handle their schedule in the morning? Like, what do they do in the morning? What's that like?
That's an
Are they
adult,
putting me to bed? Are you
Brian.
putting me to bed? Well, we always say he's 35. Like, he needs to get a job soon and like figure out what he's going to do with his life. But, we've got, you have to take this kind of stuff into account. And I don't
Mhm.
know any kid who would just be like, okay, so is somebody living with us now? That's totally fine. I don't have any questions about that. That seems
Yeah,
normal to me. They're going to have a lot of questions. And spending time with that person and just like legit casual time, not
yeah.
going to like, a zoo or whatever, but just like being in the same room coloring or playing together for a while is what you need. And I don't know if they're going to have enough time to do that, to the point where it's going to feel comfortable when they finally do live together.
Yeah, I mean, kids throw tantrums. Kim, have
Mm-hmm.
you experienced a tantrum to know, like, okay, this is something you might have to do? I don't know. But,
Oh, well, on that topic, I will say this. The number one thing for single people that don't have kids, don't laugh during a tantrum. If a kid does something crazy, like I know it's funny when a kid does something insane or like says something really sassy or shit, like don't laugh. It's going to encourage the kid to do that. Your natural reaction is to laugh when a kid does something insane. And like if you're not around kids a whole lot, you're like, "Oh yeah, that's fun." No, no, don't do that. It's going to make the kid do it again and again, and now you're part of the problem. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I wonder if she's got the
yeah,
natural experience having done to be okay
yeah.
at this.
Okay, guys, Brian's pro tip. You heard
I'm
that. You heard it
saying,
here.
ignore the tantrum. Just let just look at your food. Right? Don't get involved.
The highlight too is like, okay, they get back and they're speaking. Apparently, Kim got her dog a diamond necklace. So this is different world. We're talking about different worlds for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
When they're at the get together, they have many get togethers, but the first get together, she made like a weird comment where she's like, "Me and Tomas are really good. Don't judge people by their looks." What?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's what I was thinking, but I wouldn't have said it out loud.
Just I don't know why you said it. These people are in there, no filter. It's time to meet her family. Her family comes over. It's her mom and her sister. And instead of just, before they come over, instead of just saying what she means, which is the other thing that they're so blunt, but they're not blunt. She's asking
Mm-hmm.
him, "Is this what you're wearing? Okay. Is this okay? Why are you
Right.
wearing this?" Well, I thought it was okay, but I mean, I guess it looked nicer when he put a jacket on or
Sure.
something. But just say, like, "I want you to put a jacket on." She's worried about her mom that he has tattoos. You already told her that. He's not getting rid of the tattoos. I don't know what we're so worried about, but I think it's just he's already nervous. Why are we
Mm-hmm.
doing a song and dance? Just tell him, "Hey, I think it'll be better if you wear this." And then that's the end of it. But
Yeah.
we went back and forth on it.
And he's not the kind of guy that's going to be reactionary to that and be like,
Yeah,
oh, so I can't dress myself all of a sudden. Like he's gonna be
yeah,
like, oh shit, okay, like cool. I want a good first impression. I'll put on whatever you told me to put on.
yeah.
It's to the point that he put on what she wanted him to put on, and then she's
Mhm.
like, actually, you know what? T-shirt's better. And he's like, yep, okay. He wasn't like, damn it, like what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, all right, I'll go change again.
Yeah, because he just wants her family to like him. He wants the
Mm-hmm.
family that he never had. And they meet. Her mom is cute. And I think it's better what she did, where you kind of expect the worst and it turns out to not be as bad. And her
Yeah.
mom likes him because he's a hard worker. She's like, "Love is not enough. That is my ministry. I do not think that
Mm-hmm.
in fairy tale land." And she's like, but he looks like he likes to work hard, and that's what she wants for her daughter. So everything went well, and everything's good. And her sister seemed on the fence, but her sister just seems stoic, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. She didn't seem expressive. And when it's somebody from like a family member, I always wonder if that's because the cameras are there or if that's because of
Mhm.
just how you naturally are. But yeah, she was not super emotional or expressive with how she was feeling.
Yeah, and I always wonder, like, what are they telling their family members through text? Like,
Mm-hmm.
is this, if I have my family members, I'm not telling them the truth because they're not going to be able to act on camera. They're just going to be like, these stank
Mm-hmm.
faces all around. So,
Listen, that's my whole family practices that policy. My brother very almost got engaged at one point in time, and they broke up. And my mom was like, "Oh, thank God!" and like unloaded when they broke up, and never said a word the whole 2 years they were together. And it's able to hold it
wow.
together because I don't want to make a scene. The moment it was over, she opened up.
But it's what we do where we talk about supporting the family. You
Hmm.
say it once and then you get over it, from
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Okay, so they have an engagement party. The engagement party is just an excuse to bring people from the pods, people that were maybe in love triangles, for them to come over. So when Clement comes over, she tells him that on paper he suited her more, that she and Tomas are from different worlds and she just needs more time. I don't understand confiding your troubles to your, so to speak, ex.
I
Tell
don't get it.
anybody else. Tell all your, she has a whole clique of
You just
girls.
saw your
But
sister. Tell them.
yeah,
Don't tell Clement, who's over here like, oh yeah, word. Things ain't perfect, huh?
like, what is
Like,
he supposed to do with it? Because we saw that in
right,
Sweden too, where she was telling the other guy and he was holding her face with his hand. And I'm
right.
like, okay, you're engaged. Okay. So,
Well, and these two seem like they were gone for a pretty long time. This seemed
yeah.
like they were having a one-on-one for quite a while.
Yeah, she said the same thing. She's like, okay, I think we've been gone along. We need to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So someone named Anais, we never saw her or something, but
Nope.
she's in the pod. She just comes to Tomas and was like, she questioned his intention. She's telling Julie, I believe, or
Mm-hmm.
Chloe, one of them,
I think it was
because
Julie.
it was Julie, that because he was dating a friend of a friend. Actually, what she said was her best friend's best friend. I was like, oh my god, this is confusing. But a
Right.
friend of a friend. And she just goes straight to Tomas. And she's just like, how you doing? What's going on? But you know, Brian, when someone asks you, how are you doing? And you're supposed to say, I'm fine, not
Mm-hmm.
Tomas. Well, you know, it's been a journey. It's 90% great, 10% down. And I used to like, okay, I just want to ask you a question. Do you know Eleanor?
Right. Like I don't care how you're doing. So about Eleanor though.
It was so funny because he was going on and on.
Yeah.
And then she goes, were you with her? And he's like, being with her is, that's a strong, description. We
Mm-hmm.
get along, we text all the time. And when we got our phones, I checked on her because she has a child. I don't know who made Thomas the protector of single parents, but this man is very concerned about everyone with children. But the camera makes sure that we see that his hands are clasped under his hands, like, as he's
Mm-hmm.
answering. And I don't know how I feel about it. I think the more we know about Tomas, he's a very feeling guy.
Mm-hmm. He
So it's
seems like a
not,
very emotional, sensitive man.
yeah, it's not beyond the realm that he would check on her. But also, when you're engaged, if you guys were, he's saying that they weren't together, fine. But it seemed like it was a situationship type thing, except she had a kid and you were checking
Yeah.
on the kid. I don't know. There's something a little wonky about that.
A
But
little.
the thing is, isn't it weird that Anais went straight to Tomas? She didn't go to
It
Kim.
is. It yeah, well, I could go either way because
Okay.
like we the the details are a little bit obscure here, which is not uncommon for a relationship that has not been like established for a super long time. It's not like they were together for 2 years and like we've, put labels on things and what have you. It sounds like they were hooking up
Mm-hmm. Two
for a
weeks.
while.
He
Yeah.
said 2 weeks.
Um
Yeah.
yeah, a couple of weeks. And then like um never had any overnights, never spent a whole lot of time together, but they were hooking up. That to me is not like anything to necessarily need to go and even tell her. Like, oh, he's not a virgin? Like I'm shocked by this. Like obviously if he wanted it to become something more, he could have said, I want to pursue this. He didn't seem to want that.
Yeah.
As far as like checking in on her, I need to know specifically what was said because like I'm wondering if I've got friends who are also parents. And like I know if their kid has a thing coming up, if they have like a big sporting event coming up, or they have like a recital, whatever. When I get back, I'm like, oh, how was the recital? Kind of a thing is a normal thing for me to do. That's not me spitting game. But I'm just like, hey, you would ask how my kid is doing too if we've established that part of our relationship. Um, I don't know why any of this needs to be brought up. Is kind of where I'm coming down.
I will say this. I don't know if I fully believe that. It was not for a long time. It was for this. I do feel like he's still hiding some information or pertinent information. I don't know if that's the full truth. I do think that, is it necessary immediately you get your phone back that you check up on the person you were hooking up with?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then if you are going to do that, your fiance, hey, by the way, there is someone, we talked about this. If you have an ex situation, whatever, don't let your
Hmm.
person be the last person to find out. And I think the
That's
crux
true.
of what Anais and Kim were going on is the fact that in the pods, he kept saying, I've been single for a very, very long time. But
Yeah,
this was like
like
weeks
years and
or
years.
whatever before. Even if it was a situationship, if you're categorizing it as single, why is it important that you check up on her and her kid?
Yeah, there's it's I need to know more about this whole thing. How
I don't
long have
even
they been
know.
friends before they started hooking up? There's just before I can make a real judgment on how wrong and whatnot. I am a little bit curious. Like, were you guys friends for years before this? I don't know what's going on specifically,
Hmm.
but I've not seen anything in Thomas that leads me to go, oh, he might be like a disloyal man. He might be kind of like a dirty dog. I've not seen that,
I have.
and
He's
so
a
I
man.
don't. Well, sure. Listen, his default setting is it could happen, but we've seen men where I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's out here about to do some nasty shit. Like I don't see that with him,
Yeah,
and he seems like he's pretty much super into Kim. So like, I don't know why this is something that we have to bring up.
I don't know. It's good for it to be brought up because it could be like a case of Cynthia. Are you friends with your ex? Is this something that will bother you? Let's put
Well,
this
that's a
out
whole
on the
other.
table. Yeah, and to have a whole conversation about it. And I think it's probably just because I feel like there are some details that are missing. The man isn't avoidant and he's just like, oh,
Hmm.
it's not worth bringing up. It might not be, but you hiding it makes it even worse, whatever it
That's
is,
true.
because her reaction is always so big. You kind of have to know the person that you're with. Now, Kim has had to find out through someone else. If you had just said, hey, there's this girl that I was seeing, would you be uncomfortable if I'm checking in on them because, she had a kid? Let's go with your example. He had an event that was
Hmm.
coming up. I just want to check up or whatever. Granted, she might be like, why do you need to? Do you have feelings for her? Why do you, but you
Yeah.
put it out there and she found out from you. So if Anais comes and is like, oh, blah, 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 she's like, oh, yeah, he told me about it. But now, again, Anais didn't even go to her first. She went to Tomas and she
Yeah.
went to somebody else with a hat. Little Duval. No, that was not her name.
Yeah.
Divine.
Uh,
Did I say Little Duval?
Ludovine. Was it
Ludovine?
Ludovine?
Oh my God.
Oof. I almost had a stroke trying to think of that one.
You guys, it is 7 a.m. where I am. Sorry. But yes, so she was also there, so she knows things spread fast. So now everyone knows except the person that it knows. So there are complications there. So I don't think like he's like innocent, and I'm not gonna use his good guy tortured poet equity here because something is missing. I feel. From the
That's fair.
story. And he was mad. He was just like, I'm in trouble now. I know I'm in trouble. Well done. You've done something. So,
Well, I'd be mad if
anyways.
I'm him too, because I'm like, everything was going so smooth. It was smooth sailing, and now look at us because of you and your actions.
Yeah. She gets upset. She's crying. She's like, I
Hmm.
was being used for a fool. As usual, I believe them. She is allowed to be upset, but a big, big reaction before talking to your fiance, that's a choice. Like, anyone
Yeah.
can just say anything to you, and you're like, yeah, okay, it's true. And it's almost like this is another situation where we're seeing like she's looking for the worst in him. It's almost like
Yes.
anything you tell her, she believes it, and she's like, yeah, I knew it. Listen, if
Hmm.
you don't want to be with a poor man, just say that. That's okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
move on.
Sure. I
So,
might go, oh, that's kind of shallow, but that's the
yeah,
worst you're going to get. Like,
yeah,
that's the absolute worst I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to. I feel
yeah,
bad for him. I feel bad for her. It's all just kind of going about as bad as not as bad as it could be because
yeah,
we've got Cynthia over here,
yeah,
but it's going bad.
yeah. So, they start arguing again. This is another thing they do a lot here. They all argue in public because they don't handle, and this is why I put emotions on there. They don't have a good handle on their emotions. He's like,
Mm-mm.
oh, I said something a few days ago. She gave me the cold shoulder, and now I've been sleeping alone for the last 2 days. And to me, I think I saw Anais smirk, and he's like, well done.
Oh,
You've achieved what you wanted to do. And then he leaves. And Thomas is like, I just want to go home. And she's like, you keep saying this. And he's like, yeah, I want to go home, but you want to stay and shop for dresses. So,
woo! I mean, that was a little bit of a bar on the walkout. I will say, like, you want to stay in shop for dresses is a little bit like, all right, that's a bit of a mic drop, Thomas. That was well done.
so yeah, they have that. And I think the last thing that happened was he had like his spiritual father
Hmm.
come over to visit, but she's not been in the house, I believe. She's been
Yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah.
And so he didn't want to text her because she hasn't been responding. But the father tells him, like, just, text. You never know what happens. And she actually does respond, and she comes over, and then they have like a conversation about the whole thing. And the spiritual father is trying to tell her, like, you have to understand where he's coming from. Like, something that, because she's like, he thinks everything is not a big deal. And she's like, in his life, it's not a big deal. He's had bigger things happen to
Mm-hmm.
him. And this trivial thing is not going to be the thing that he considers to be like a big thing. So it's just a fact of they don't know each other, I guess,
Right.
is what it is.
Exactly.
Although Cynthia does say his past is not always going to be an excuse for certain thing that he does, but she says that it helps. They say they're back on good terms. I don't know how long this is going to last.
I can't imagine that long. I don't have a lot of faith in this couple. I think there's a lot of problems here.
Yeah,
And I think that they're not things that are like easily papered over. I mean, obviously, there's a trust issue now that I didn't know was there before. There's communication problems. There's, values issues on like what matters and what doesn't. This couple's kind of a mess.
and she hasn't met the daughter. Mm.
Right. Hasn't met the daughter. Jiminy
Okay.
Christmas.
So what's your prediction?
Oh, I don't think they make it to the altar. I think they
Oh,
break
you
up.
reckon the
I think
daughter? Okay.
No, I think they burn up on reentry. They try one more time. It falls apart. I don't think she ever meets the daughter.
Okay.
And I don't if they show well, I guess they probably wouldn't have shown them at the altar in the scenes from upcoming episodes. If I get one of these wrong because I missed something, y'all, ADHD is a hell of a drug. So like if they show somebody saying I do and I forgot it, like I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I'm trying my best.
I think the only thing they showed is they showed someone running out the door, and I was too.
Okay.
If I was really invested, I would
Could have
look
paused.
to see whose wedding dress that was and who had the
Right.
veil, and that would be the person I'll say no. But I was like, I don't want to cheat. I'm just gonna
Right.
let it be. But with these two, I think they're one of the ones where you think they're a mess, and then somehow they make it work, and you're like, how did you make it work?
Mm-hmm.
But let's just go with a no for both of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But if anyone was to say yes,
Oh.
would it be?
I think it'd be Thomas because he's such like a at least he presents himself to be such like a hopeless romantic kind of like a from the heart kind of a guy. I could see him making an emotional decision to say yes even though he knows damn well it's a bad idea. But I think he
Mhm.
could be one of those.
Hmm. I don't know. I could see her say yes because every time she says, "Oh, we're good," I'm still surprised. Like,
Yeah,
how
it's
are you
shocking every
good?
time.
You
You're
seem to
not
look
good. You're
down on him. So
yeah, no,
how
you're
does it work?
definitively bad. That's true.
All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Let us go to Yannick and Tatiana. I'm
Oh
just going to
no.
let you know up front that apparently this is no more. So
Oh well. I'm not shocked by that.
I don't know, they're together, they're having a good time. She asked him, like, do you feel good with me? He was like, so good. And he tells us that they moved to another level last night. And he means life stories, not sex. He just means like he shared a lot about her life and they both shared about each other's life. So they achieved another level of closeness among each other. He says that, his mother was a single mother and he sees the strength of his mother in Tatiana, and he's just like, life is hard. And he begins to tear up. He's sitting in the pool in his robe and his feet in the pool as he does this confessional.
Hmm.
And she comes over and was like, are you okay? And he asks her, like, how is it for you to see me cry? And she says, I'm glad that you can do it in front of me, because she's very committed to him. He goes, why? She goes, because I love you. Oh, so cute.
Oh,
So
very sweet.
Tatiana tells us that her feelings have been confirmed on this trip, that she's happy for herself and all the single moms.
It's a lot. And like I again, cultural differences, maybe for single parents in France, life in the dating pool really is like a fucking nightmare. I don't know. I know a whole lot of like my friends who were married for a while, have a kid or two, got divorced, are now dating again. They seem to be doing okay. And like meeting other single parents to date all the time. So I don't it must be real bad in France.
I don't think it's a France thing, because most recently I'm gonna refer to Huda from Love Island. She came on
Oh,
with
yeah.
not a chip, but like a whole, I'm a single mom, I'm a single mom, it's gonna be different. I just think it's a all around the world thing. Like even maybe your friends that if you've had conversations with them, maybe they're pushing through. It seems like there's mom guilt and then there's single mom guilt on top of that, where it's just
Right.
like, am I doing this? And you have to push through to be like, I deserve this and this is okay.
Hmm.
So I don't
That
know.
certainly could
But
be the case.
she like but Tatiana does carry it like a badge. Like even if it
Hmm.
might not have been an issue, I think she makes it an issue. And
She does.
I don't want to go too hard on her because maybe that's how she's had it and that's been her experience. She says that. I mean, she said that before when she's like, it's always an issue, for her. So she talks about life after the getaway, their schedules, pickups, drop offs, and that by 10 p.m., she's usually tired and he has to get used to that. And he's like, well, we have weekends. And she's like, well, I work Saturdays. I'm like, what did you guys talk about in the pods? Because this is why.
You should know that about her. This is pretty basic
Yes.
information.
Yeah. Unique is like, well, he's trying to be deep. Bill Gates said that when he realized he was going to lose his marriage, he set up weekly date nights with his wife. And I don't know when this was filmed, but Bill Gates did, in fact, lose his wife. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple things. Number one, there are lots of other couples out there that I think of as like they almost lost it and got it together, other than like Bill Gates. Like I think there's lots of couples where it's like, oh man, they were really on the rocks for a long time in the '90s, and look at how they made it. But like Bill and Melinda Gates aren't that couple for me. Number two, yeah, they didn't last. So I don't know. I don't know if like I don't think they split up that recently. I think it was a number of years ago. So
yeah.
like I don't know if he's just like, yeah, this is something that worked for them until it didn't, or like the way that he put it, I thought he was saying like the passion in their marriage had gone out. Like he realized their marriage was over because they were scheduling like weekly date nights. And I'm like,
Hmm.
no, man, a lot of couples, I do that. Like Wednesday
Yeah.
is date night in my house. That's what
Yeah.
we do. So yeah, I didn't understand why that was the option, or the example he chose. It was weird to me. And you could just say it's important to you to have a weekly date night. I think it's
Yeah.
fine to say that.
Yeah.
The anecdote doesn't add anything to your story.
He was trying to be deep, I think.
He really was.
He doesn't seem bothered by all the things she's saying, the pickup to drop offs, because in a way, I think subconsciously Tatiana is trying to be like, if you're gonna break my heart, break it now. I don't wanna, get into this, much later. And he's like, it's fine. He jokes that he'll be a desperate housewife just waiting for her to be home. And then they have a cute moment where they start dancing and singing to Wale and Usher's Matrimony. And they're just like, he's like, you're creating the vibe. You're giving me the vibe. It's funny seeing the French sing an English song.
Oh, it was something, and he can't dance. She was doing fine. He was having a hard time.
it, it was cute though. They're
It was
just
very
singing
cute.
along.
It
Yeah,
was
it
it was
was.
a moment from a rom com. It was very cute.
Yes. So the only thing that was missing was maybe them just yelling out "Black Love" from like the first batch.
Right.
So they discuss again living afterwards, and she says, ideally, you would move in with me in Puta because of school, and it's a non-negotiable for me because when you have a child, that's just how it is. And Yannick is like, well, don't you think we should have a discussion? Like, I don't like constraints, like just you just telling me what to do because it'll tend to become one-sided. Completely understand where Tatiana is coming from. I just think the
Hmm.
presentation should have been like, hey, this is what my preference would be. I understand that this might be like a sacrifice for you. Maybe years down the line, we can think about this. But her just saying, it was all of this, everything all at once, whatever that movie was. And it's like,
Exactly.
and then you tell them on top of that, it's a non negotiable. This is how it's going to be.
Hmm.
This is what it's going to, all that stuff. And it's true because if that becomes a thing, it will be one sided. No one's saying that you shouldn't consider your child. Of course, you should do that. But when you at the partner, recreate and refresh that dynamic. What do we
Yeah.
do where the child is considered, my partner is considered, I'm considered? Also, no one's saying that you should forget yourself. So Tatiana's hears what she wants to hear from what he said because that's what he was saying. It was like, we don't want it one sided. I don't want to be
Yep.
told, what to do because even if he was even going to do it, some people just don't like being told what to do. It just kind of like, you already were going to
Yeah.
do it. Once you tell me to do it, you're like, I don't want to do it. So
Hmm.
she hears what she wants to say here and she's like, I'm done with the conversation, that this is what I'm afraid of. My son is always an issue. He's not an issue to me. Suddenly he's an issue. Unique is like, who said that?
Right.
He didn't say
Who
that, but
said that?
he's like, wait, when did I say all of these things that you're saying. She's like, well, she's crying at this point, and she's like, well, you're saying that I'm imposing it on you, but the thing is, I don't have a choice. Like, as a single mom, like, there's never a choice. And Yannick is just like, well, this is reality to us, that he would like to think that he can handle it. But the truth is, can he handle it? Because he does need some kind of flexibility in his life.
Yeah, this is a problem. Like, again, what did you guys talk about in the pods? Because I I've only dated one woman with a child before,
Mhm.
and we talked a ton. Like in the beginning, before I mean, we dated for months before I met him. So like there was a lot of talk about like as we get more serious, what would that look like? Like, is this something that's going to work for your schedule? Are
Yeah.
you going to be okay? Mostly coming over to my place after you meet him because it's easier for me to be home than to
Hmm.
travel out. All this stuff got talked about all the time.
Hmm.
And then I met him. And it's like, how did you guys not talk about like any of the stuff to do with her child? Like you establish she has one. Okay, that's cool. Then what happened?
Yeah.
Like what else was discussed?
Yeah. Nothing else.
Not a
Um,
goddamn thing.
It was cute when they went to visit her shops. It was actually impressive, like, just seeing her name on there, just said Tatiana on
Yeah.
there. It's like a salon, and she has her beauty products and, all the workers that were there. It was just kind of nice. It was nice to see in
It
the
was really
world.
cool.
And I think she rose in ranks of respect in his eyes. He's just like,
Hmm.
she's actually someone, she's ambitious. And she wasn't just talking, like, it's actually, reality.
Well, and for
Um,
some people, seeing your partner in a position of authority can be really,
mhm.
really hot. And
Yeah.
so I think that might have what happened for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing that, oh, like not only do you like have a salon, like these people all look up to you as their boss and are like
Yes.
trying to impress you. That can be pretty exciting for some people.
Hmm. When they get their phones back, they realize that they have someone in common. This person is one of Tatiana's best friends. I just have questions. How did your best friend talk to
Hmm.
a guy and you never knew, never met, or whatever? They don't have to have met, but I know we were my best friends back when I was in the streets. Like, hey, I'm talking to this guy because she didn't say just a regular friend, because that was part of the contention. Was like,
Yeah,
this is one
her
of my
best
best
friend.
friends.
Yeah,
So that would be of concern to me. Like, best friend, what you hiding? Like,
yeah.
why
Her
did you
kid
hide
calls
it?
this for real. Her kid calls this lady auntie. Like this is a super close friend. So it's
Yeah.
like, and this is I'm not French. I'm not sure how common his first name is. I can't imagine it's as common as like Jacques or Claude or something. So like
Hmm.
you'd have to imagine this is a name that if she would have mentioned it,
Yeah.
Tatiana would have remembered.
Yeah.
So like clearly he was not mentioned, which makes me wonder, was he a side piece? Like was he a sneaky link that she's like, look, I don't need this getting out. Like this is going on. He ain't no dinner thing. Like is that where this is going?
I don't know. I was actually thinking like maybe he sucked so bad, and she's like, I'm not even.
Oh, that could also be.
He
But
doesn't.
it
Yeah.
lasted for a while, it sounded like.
Exactly. There's so many questions, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, have a phone call with this friend. Let's
Yes.
get the gist of
Fu-
this.
Listen, fuck a phone call, get all you guys together. If it's not a big deal, which is as he says, and it doesn't sound like she was like, oh, I thought we were gonna be like in love and get married and whatever. Like they dated for a little while. Okay. If that's all it was, it should be really easy to get everyone together and just be like, what went on? You guys are fully done, right? There's not gonna be any weirdness between us. Okay, cool. Have we talked about this? We can all hang out now. Like, why don't you just do that?
Yeah. She's like, I can't invite her to my place anymore because she's my husband's
Right?
ex.
Like, what?
You know, listen, I'm thinking about it because I'm like, is this an overreaction or not? But I think I get where she's coming from. If this is one of her best friends, it
Mm-hmm.
is weird to have someone over in your house and this person has had sex with your husband. And
Well,
what am I? It is
permit
uncomfortable.
permit me the brief of the stories. I've got two very, very, very close friends. We have the same first name. I'm not gonna say their first names in the pod, but they're two of my best friends. They also both play drums. One of them dated this woman who shall remain unnamed for like 3.5, 4 years, was looking to buy a house and propose to her. They broke up. Maybe about 6 months later, she began dating the other dude who is now her husband. These two guys are still super close friends. We hang out together all the time. Like it's not. You would think it'd be fucking weird. It should be weird. She was in very long term relationships with two dudes with the same first name who both play drums, and they hang out together all the time. Somehow not weird. Don't get it.
I don't want
Not
to
weird for our friend group.
I don't want to give men credit to say men do it. Wait, would that bother you, Brian?
Um, no. I will tell you, knowing these two guys, if the order was reversed, it would bother a lot. Like it'd
Wait,
be a whole problem.
wait, so it wouldn't bother you if your wife, if you be friends with somebody, you be really close friends with someone that your wife had dated.
If I was friends while they dated, it wouldn't bother me. If I met him after they dated, it'd probably be a bit of a problem.
Okay.
But these two guys were friends for years and years before they started. I mean, they've been friends since middle school. So like this is a long time friendship. And
So
yeah,
they
she
knew
dated
about
one of
the other,
them.
yeah, they knew about
Oh,
the other
yeah.
dating. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, they were friends before this couple got together for the entirety of their relationship and post really messy breakup. The second guy had been pining away for her for the entire time. It should be way messier than it is, and for some reason we just treat it like it's normal and no one ever brings it up.
I mean, good for them. I mean, technically, when you lay it down, it shouldn't matter. Like you're just with them.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be a big deal. In all honesty, I just,
It's probably weirder for me having heard stories about her from both of them. Like that's I'm in the middle of this. You know, they're both fine.
yeah, but I mean, these are the French, and this cast in particular, Tatiana is like, yeah, she's not coming to my place anymore. I'm like, okay, that's
Yeah.
extreme.
It's a
So
lot.
I do like how he diffused the fight. At the time, he's like, it's not a big deal. Come give me a hug, come give me a kiss, and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
she brings up the fact that if it doesn't work out, it will be double the pain, and she's worried because her son will be involved. And then he tries to reassure her. But for me, these are the risks you should have anticipated before joining this experiment. If it's so important to
Mhm.
you for your kid, this is already a huge risk for you on your own. So when you have a kid, you should be okay with it. Now is not the time to be like, oh my God, this is going to be this. You should have assessed those risks before signing up for a show like this, you know?
Exactly.
Brian, does a notary do something different in France than they do here in the United States? Because I'm a little bit confused.
I don't know. This I don't know if it's just like a different title for the same thing as like a paralegal. Cause like this is just it seemed like he just brought over like a prenup and was like, okay, if you sign it, I can witness you signing it, and now it's official. So but like
Yeah.
usually I thought you just take your documents to a notary to have them notarized. I didn't know they like
Mhm.
make a house call for this.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any listener that's in France, I would really like some insight into this because I thought the notary was kind of like for, what's it called? A marriage license, like that's because
Yeah.
we had a couple that was talking about this before this, and I just thought they meant like for their marriage license, they were coming over the house. But then when we have this, and they actually filmed Yannick's and Tatiana's, he's talking about finances, they're talking about
Mm-hmm.
50-50 and stuff. And I'm like, why does he have to talk about it? And then he tells them that you have to sign it the same day. And I'm like, when I have to read whatever it is I'm signing, that doesn't seem
Yeah.
far fetched to me, but Tatiana got mad
I
about that because Yannick is like, I want my brother to read it over. Sounds
mm-hmm.
logical to me. But again, if I'm mistaken what this is, unless this is like you buy something from Amazon and tell you to sign, you have no choice. Of yes, we don't read it, we just sign. But this seems important.
Like, I'm wondering if this is like a legal part of what you have to do to get married in France. Like, if you have to have a prenup in France where we are discussing assets and writing down what we're going into it before we get married, or we can't get married. Because otherwise, like, this seems like a very kind of a high pressure thing. He's like, well, do I have to sign it right now? And he's like, well, not right now, but like
Today.
pretty soon. And I'm like, yeah, like you got to do it today. I'm just like, oh, this seems it almost to me it feels like you have to have this done in order to get married. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm very confused by this whole thing.
Yeah, I am too. Which then brings them to talking about finances. Again, something that should have happened in the pods. She's like, I think he asked like, what do you think they should share the finances with? And she's like, what do you think? He's like, you're putting it on me. I'm asking you. And then she's like, I don't believe in 50-50. Like traditionally, I think now she evokes her African side. As an African, you're
Right?
responsible for everything. Like she picks and chooses, which
As an African man, you must understand.
yes. I mean, to be fair, they did connect on the cultural, and it is
They
true.
did.
Like, hey, you're responsible for everything financially. I know we both work, but I want the security that if my business goes under, my lifestyle would change. Again, I
I
don't
was
feel like that's
hyperventilating.
the first translation, but I was like, huh. She didn't
I was
say
having a hard time.
if the business goes under, I want to be okay. That will still be okay. She said, my lifestyle is not going
Yeah.
to change.
So essentially you pay for all the essentials and like most of the luxuries, and like, my money is for like if you want to go to like upgrade to first class is
Yeah,
my money. And I'm like, that's a lot, especially because you're a successful business owner.
yeah,
And like he's a special effects producer or
yeah.
supervisor or whatever. I'm not
Mhm.
sure how much money that makes.
Yeah, but then Yannick does not like this. He's like, my our relationship should not be about our earnings. It shouldn't be based on this. And I have a bone to pick with him on that because I feel like Yannick asked about the African culture and things like that, and I feel like he's the kind of guy that's going to pick and choose. Not saying that is absolutely like you have to stick to it. You have to be the one who does it, but you can't suddenly have a problem with her wanting to say, hey, you should be the one that's in charge of everything. Where I feel like there might be something else, like maybe, I don't know, this is arbitrary, like cooking or something. And you're like, oh, you're the lady of the
Mm-hmm.
house and you should be doing that. You can't pick and choose and suddenly have a problem with this. But again, if you do have a problem with it, open your mouth and speak. They
And
don't
talk
do
about it in the
that.
pods. Talk about this shit in the pods. Like, this is what the pods are for. What do you want financially? Like, how do you expect to divvy up our expenses? This is common shit you're supposed to cover before you propose.
Yeah, but you remember I felt like Yannick and Tatiana's just came from nowhere, and I'm like,
It
did they get
did.
to talk about everything? And she was just grateful that she got chose. So I don't know if they
Because
did.
she had struck out twice. You're
Yes,
right. She was on her last legs.
a lot of talking, but either way, Yannick does not sign the notary, and she's just like, "Why didn't you sign it?" He's like, "I need time to read over it," which
Mm-hmm.
again sounded logical, but we don't know what the usual drill is for this. So they have a perfume date because she loves perfume. Yannick runs he's the Bill Gates date night. So he came up with this
Mm-hmm.
for them to do the perfume. But I will say this, from the minute that he did not sign that notary and he was concerned about the way she reacted about the 50-50, the light left his eyes. The light
Yep.
left his eyes. She's
He's
at the
checked out.
date. Yes, he's running late. She calls him. He's trying to be like, I'm late. I don't want us to rush. I want us to actually have a good time. She's like, oh, but he's already here. That becomes a whole thing. He's like, we can do it another day. Like, it doesn't have to be a thing. Listen, I am a Tatiana where if you change plans, I'm like, oh my God, it's ruined. It's this, it's that. But I'm learning. I am in work in progress where it's like, you know what? It's not the end of the world. It is okay that it could be done another day, which is the only
Yeah.
reason why I could see his point. If you'd asked me this last year, I would be like, no, you said now, it should be now, and it should be at 5:01 p.m. just like you planned it. So I think he's trying to be like, hey, we can do another time where we don't have to rush. I'm running late now. We didn't have details at the time what was going on or why he was late,
Right.
but she's like, you know what? I'm just going to do this by myself. So that was that. Then it was time to
Yeah.
meet the family, which was also like a jump scare because we didn't know they were meeting the
Whew.
family. We just saw a
No.
family, and
And they're all here.
it was just two of them, but one didn't
Oh, I
speak.
thought it was just two.
Yeah, the lady with the
Okay.
hijab and
Oh, you're right. You're right.
the
And the
mom, but
mom
the
was
mom
there.
did the speaking for everybody.
Tatiana was the third because they were all on a
Yes,
team together.
yes. As soon as he walks in, Yannick's energy is so flat.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately Tatiana brings up the notary and him not signing it. And Mama ain't having it. She's just like, if you don't want to sign it, if you're not signing it, just call it off. Let's move on. We already know what's going on. So let's just, call it and not that. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. I just wanted to read it and go through. She keeps going on. Then Tatiana is like, you know what? That's not enough. She brings up the perfume date and how,
Mm-hmm.
today you have never apologized. You have not said that you were sorry for this. I don't. What is with these people in terrible timing? There's a lot of public arguing on this batch, and also it
They
is
love
very
it.
important how you introduce your partner to your loved ones. Again, we've said this before.
Mm-hmm.
It is very important. You could be mad, but doing this and having him defend himself in front of your mom, who already does not approve, you must not want to get married.
No,
So he's trying to
you're
explain,
dodging something here.
yeah, he's trying to explain, like, oh, I couldn't make it. It was late. And then mommy jumps in and is like, you are wrong. You seem to be so proud that you organized a day. Woohoo. But she says, what kind of upbringing is this? I'm like,
Yeah. I gasped. I'm like, don't talk to my parents like that now. Don't
don't.
don't bring up like who raised you essentially. Which I'm like, oh my god.
Yes. I will say this, my fellow Africans, I'm sure you recognized her mom. These are the elders. They have no tact. They just say things and you're like, why, Lord, why? But that's what gives us our strength and our trauma. But
Yeah.
this, her mom is a typical African
Yeah.
elder.
My
Like
friend
she,
Babatunde's mom was like this.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. You just say what comes into their mouth and you're like, Mom, no, like stop.
Oh no.
So yes, but clearly no, but clearly there is more to it, and I feel like she was reacting to stuff that Tatiana has already told her. And she's like, if my daughter is not going to say anything, I am saying this, and if there's anything I can do to stop this, I will do everything. Nothing I'm going to do is going to encourage that this marriage is going to happen.
Mm-mm.
So he tells her, like, he does stand up for himself after a while. He tells her, like, listen, not even my mom, I have never sat there for anyone to treat me the way that you're treating me. And she's like, I will talk to you any way that I want to. You are not to
Ooh.
Tatiana's level, and I will let you know that. And
Ah, my chest.
she tells us that she doesn't want Tatiana to be alone, when her son grows up, and she doesn't like that Yannick didn't sign the notary. And quite frankly, they're not compatible. That the problem is that he's afraid of being smothered. He wants to be
Mm-hmm.
free. And even if my daughter says yes, I will say no.
And
I
she
don't
will
know
do what I
how.
say.
Yeah, I don't know how two things can be true. The mama was so rude and so unnecessary, but everything she diagnosed is correct. Like,
Yes.
he's afraid of being
Listen,
smothered. He's seeing this. He's not equipped to marry or be a step parent based on what we're seeing.
sometimes the mean in-laws on 90 Day Fiance are right. Like sometimes this is a bad couple and y'all should not be together and this is a bad American for you. Like sometimes it happens that way.
Yeah, I mean, his phone rings. He's trying to put. She's like, "Put your phone on silent." He's like
Uh-huh.
already doing that. I
Oh,
will say that Tatiana not saying a word is weird, and I don't know if this was subconscious. She already knew that she wasn't going to go ahead with this, and she just brought him and said, "Mama, alley oop, here you go. Do what you
yep.
do."
That's
And
how it felt. If like yes, just get him. You don't even know
yeah,
him. You're never gonna see him again. Just go ahead and get him for me.
yeah. So I mean, that was it. I'll talk later about what happens wedding dress shopping, but that was crazy. That was such a scene, and I think he got up and left
He did.
because
He walked out.
there's nothing else to do with this.
Right.
I
What are you
don't
gonna do?
know
I'm not gonna
how.
take this.
No, it is, and then your wife's not defending you. I'm just not sure how they think anything was going to happen after this. Like,
Yeah.
who would? No, there's nothing,
Mm-mm.
nothing to go. You know.
Couldn't be me.
All right, quick break, and I'll be right back. All right, let's talk about the breakup. Cynthia and Jonathan.
Oh my. This was a
They
mess.
these two. They were sitting at dinner and then he's humming. I didn't even notice. I just like, oh, he's happy. That's good. And she's like, if you hum or sing before a meal one more time, I will strangle you. I'm like, oh God,
Like
that's
motherfucker, you have
sexy.
hummed your last hum.
But you see why I put emotions in the order? Like it's just
Yes. Because
there's a
that's not
lot of,
immaturity. That's just come on.
yeah, there's just a lot of emotions. Like that's how I feel
Yeah.
as a woman. That's how I feel about this. Mama's like, I don't like you. You don't want there's a lot of that
Oof, it's a
in
whole
here.
lot.
Okay, then Cynthia strikes with the hypotheticals again. And she's like, are you friends with any of your exes? Well, I guess that's not a hypothetical. That's an actual question. Like, are you
Yeah.
friends with any of your exes? And he's like, would you have a problem if I was? And she's like, you're not answering. Answer me. Would you have a problem with it? And I'm like, okay, this is not.
Y'all are
Delivery
both
is
wrong.
important, guys. Delivery is
Yep.
important. So
Both
I
of y'all
think
are wrong.
he tries to answer by giving context, which I mean, I know it's a long way around, but
Mm-hmm.
it is important. But Cynthia is not having it because what he was trying to say was like, let's say I had a friend for 5 years. We dated for 3 months. It didn't work out. I'm not going to cut them off. Like, we're actual friends.
Right.
It just didn't work out. But then again, on the flip side, he's like, but I would not invite that kind of friend to our wedding because that would be disrespectful to you. She's like, you're not answering. You're giving me so much context. I don't need any of your context. Like, I didn't ask if any of your exes would be at the wedding. Like, you're not being clear. I'm like, he's like, the fact that you're even asking me is actually bothersome. Like, I would never put you in a
Mm-hmm.
position. I would think that you would know that about me. And she's speaking to him like she's a principal, sending him out to detention. And she's saying, like, I'm starting to see myself with you more. So I'm just making sure. And then he cracks a joke saying, like, this is your first fit of jealousy, huh? I'm like, timing, timing,
Oof,
know your
buddy, come on, man.
audience.
Don't do that.
She says, like, okay, we're in the same wavelength and we want the same things, just as I was thinking, that she doesn't sound like they're partners. Like, so how are you on the same wavelength? But he says that they have issues communicating because she infantilizes him and doesn't let him be himself.
I
He
haven't
says
seen that, but okay.
that she didn't he didn't realize how cutting she is in the pause, and he's tired of her being sensitive. I'm like, said the one worried about being roasted. But okay,
Gonna
okay.
say you can't let her pick her own shoes, and she's being too sensitive. Okay, got it. Sounds legit.
Catherine says that she knows that Cynthia. It's Cynthia. It's
Not
Cynthia.
Catherine.
Brian, you looked me dead in the eye and didn't say anything.
I didn't catch it until you did. Oh no. Oh, Kate. All right.
Cynthia. Cynthia said it 100 times. Says she knows that she can be cold, but she hates it when people don't answer her questions directly. And all she needed was a simple answer. So they have that their beach meetup and things like that, and he's complaining to the guys, and this poor guy is trying to, that thing where someone see you from afar, like stay smiling, just smile, so she doesn't know what's going
Mm-hmm.
on. He's like, you guys, don't let her know what I'm telling you.
Is she looking? Is she watching? Is she watching?
She watch. So he complains to the guys at the beach meetup that she doesn't ask him questions about himself, and he basically doesn't feel good around her. And then we switch to the scene where there's doom and gloom music again. I'm like, who now? What now? It is Cynthia.
Right.
She is crying. They have had another argument. And she comes back and he tells her, I cannot do this anymore. You're a different person off camera than on camera. On camera, you try to act like you're nice. And she's like, I will not let you insult me or do this to my character. The thing is, when people are fighting, you're like, you know what? I'm out. I'm not going to say anything. They say I'm not going to say
Yep.
anything, but they can't help themselves. They just keep going
Keep on
at
saying
it and
shit.
at it and at it. And they're like, I'm going to have the last word. So he calls her angry. And then he says that he is scared. And then he says that her words are violent. And then he says
Violent.
that she is aggressive. I
Yup.
don't know if it carries the same weight over in France, but those were four trigger words put together, said all at once.
I had the exact same thought. I'm like, is this what culturally in France? Are these words coded the way they are here? Because I'm like, this is all back to back to back to back in a row. Like, this is wild.
Yeah. And I think he got
To
her
lead with
because,
angry.
yeah,
Like,
because
woof.
she was like, you know what? Because she was walking away, and she was like, you know what? You will not do this to me. Like, you can save
Mm-hmm.
face as much as you want, but I am not going to be with someone who is emotionally dependent. How about that?
Yup. Oh
And
my, it got so personal.
it really was. Somehow, I don't know when he did it, but his bags are packed. They're packed. They're belted together. He can roll it and slide it out.
He's got a hobo bindle over his shoulder. He's hitting the rails.
Yeah. So they're back and then they're arguing to the very end. And he just tells her, you are the worst person that I've ever met in my life. But you know what?
Whoa.
She still had kind words in her confessional. She's like, you know what? I wish him the best because he has a lot of love to give and it's going to take me a while to get over this. It took me a minute. I took a break to be like, what did I just watch? That's crazy.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Whole fight was crazy.
So when they had the engagement party with the pod squad and stuff, I see Jonathan and I'm like, why are they here? What
Mm-hmm.
are they adding to this? And then Cynthia comes in leading with her boobs first. And I'm like, oh, now I see why they're here because apparently
Mm-hmm.
she is hoping to change his mind.
And if I'm him, I would have folded so fast. I'd be like, you know what? Yep, you're right. We can make this work. I was wrong. You were wrong. We all said things that we were regret. Like I would not have been able to hold back.
She looked good though. She
She
looked
looked good
really
and she
good.
was landing on thick as hell.
She was. She put her like everyone was like, wait, she just put her hand on his thigh. And then she was just giving flirty looks. I was just like, I think we can make this work. And I'm just like, wow, what is happening
I'd
right
have been
now?
sweating. I'd have been shaking. Like this would have been kudos to him for being a better man than me, I guess. 'Cause, like, I don't know what this would have been insane, impossible to overcome.
Like I still don't know what his reaction was. He said that it would take him a while to, think about this and all that, but I don't know why they unless they're going to show us them next batch, why
They
was this
might.
included? Like I need a conclusion to what this is about, you
They
know.
might give us them next batch, or they might be setting up for them at the reunion. Where like,
Okay.
okay, so we saw you guys there. Now at the reunion, are you guys together? What's happened after that? Those
Yeah.
are our only two options, though.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so that was it for them and we'll see what happens at the reunion or the next batch. So we move on to Chloe and Alexandra. Sender. She asked
Alex.
him, yeah, she asked him how the trip was because he seems distant, and he says that he is, and it seems to come from nowhere because I thought they were
It
so in
does.
love and so everything, and then all of a sudden he just seems like he's so far away. So she says all these things, and he says he doesn't disagree that she's right, and I feel that's always a terrible feeling. It's
Hmm.
you're hoping that I say all these things and it's under my head, but when the person is like, "No, you're right," oh, where do
Yeah.
we go from here?
When you
So
come in like I'm tripping, right? Like, no, you're
yeah,
not. Like, it's exactly what you think it is.
yep.
Like, oh no.
He feels like she gives him more than he does. He tells her that it's going to take him a while to be affectionate, and he never saw his parents be affectionate. And to him, saying "I love you" after a few weeks is kind of crazy. Again, sort
It
these things
is.
out before you sign up for the show.
Yeah, he says a lot of stuff like that. Was like, I mean, no one gets engaged after 2 months. I'm like, okay, well, did you? Did they handcuff you and put a sack over your head and make you appear on the show, or did you sign up for this?
But he does think they're a great fit, though. And Chloe is like, you know what? This conversation we just had was the most authentic one that we've ever had. So they're back in their apartment. They moved into the apartment. Chloe comes back and starts rattling off all the dates that they'll be meeting someone from her side, her mom, her sister, her friend, or all that. And then she asks, "Is it okay?" But I've never seen someone so checked out and terrified at the same time. In fact, he says, "I'm going to go take a shower. Bye."
Yeah, yeah. I need to go dissociate for a minute. I'll
Yeah.
come back with an answer.
Yeah. But then he tells us that, I feel good with Chloe because he has to tell us every time that he feels good with Chloe. But she
Hmm.
did choose the dates without him. And I am annoyed by this because, again, if you know you have an issue with this, tell her because none of this, Chloe
Yes.
doesn't seem unreasonable. So, maybe she decides, like, okay, who is most important for him to meet? Maybe I have to whittle it down to just two people, or she just doesn't do it or something. But closed mouths don't get fed.
No.
So,
You have to have a strategy as a couple. Like we have a shared Google Calendar. If there's somebody that's coming, if there's anything that's going to be happening that the other person needs to know about, it goes on the calendar. Once
yeah.
it's on there, you have dibs. If you have like a weekend planned, I can't plan a weekend then. Like you already have it reserved. It's super
Yeah.
easy. That works for us. But like find something that's going to work for you guys other than just like being mad and taking showers. That's not going to
Open
fix
your
anything.
just open your mouth.
Right.
Just share that. It feels like he's just looking for a reason to hide behind, like him feeling overwhelmed instead of just saying, "I am overwhelmed."
Hmm.
Perfectly human, normal reaction to this experiment that is not normal, you know?
Right.
So he says he wants to slow down because everything is too fast. So they're the ones who host the pod squad where everyone just comes to the apartment as they squeeze into this very long love seat that's on there. And they talk about that's the time they talk about Cynthia and Jonathan. Her sister comes over. She and her sister look so much alike.
They do.
They
They
really
share a
look alike.
face.
Yeah, but she's still she's still worried because he's still saying that he still can't see himself getting married.
That's something to be worried about.
Yes.
Especially if you're more or less there at this point.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with him, but he just again just seems checked out with that. They keep having the conversations, and he's not giving her much to work with, but she's hoping that her patience pays off. And
Hmm.
I'm hoping it pays off for her too, because it's not
It has
looking
to.
good for them. Did I miss anything else with
I don't
them?
think so. I don't think so. I'm just constantly distracted by his mustache. Is my only thought. I don't like it. But that's my main takeaway other than what we talked about.
What are your predictions for them?
I predict they're going to say yes. I think that whatever funk he's in is going to clear, and
Hmm.
they're going to be fine. It feels like one of those where the start of next episode they're weird, and by the end of next episode they're back on track.
Okay. I still kind of feel like she'll say yes and he'll say no.
Could be because
Yeah.
he seems scared of saying yes. But
Yeah.
again, then why'd you come on the show and then why'd you propose?
Yeah. Okay. So we have, gosh, it feels like there's so many couples. Van
It does,
Me
right?
and Sabrina. She
Hmm.
shares that they're okay when the girls are together, that there's no intimacy, but you can tell by a guy's moves. He can dance, so she can tell. Whatever Roxy wrote, Sabrina, I
Okay.
like it. I love it. So she does say that she's struggling with desire for him. And Julie says that, she will wait till marriage. And Cynthia is like, that's a bit much, which was surprising because I
Hmm.
thought Cynthia was a religious one. So between this
True. Yeah.
and coming to turn him over with her boobs all out and everything, I'm like, okay. So they're moving in together. They both live with exes. Van Me, most notably with the 8-year relationship. She says she
Hmm.
wants to make the effort to let him know how she feels about him. And she tells him that she's looking forward to a future with them together. So they're grilling Van Me about Sabrina at the engagement, at the one at the, whose apartment was that? Brian and, sorry, Alexandra and Chloe.
There you
Were they
go.
the ones that hosted it?
I think so.
Yes, they were the ones that hosted it. So they're grilling him at the thing, and they're like, "Do you find her attractive?" Because he says again that she's not my usual type. Stop saying that when you're engaged.
Oh my god! And why? First of all, why the fuck does it matter anymore? Like, this is something you say when you very first see the person, and then you just quit talking about it forever.
Yep, forever and ever. And then he even Kyle stopped saying it with Sorova. He said it once, said it was, and then that was it. Had an
That
ending
was it.
conversation, and that was it. But I think it's because Sabrina is not getting the reassurance from him, and she just couldn't take it anymore. And she's like, "Oh, you keep calling me cute. You don't call me beautiful." And then they're trying to like make up for it, like what he's saying, and it's not working. Sabrina
It
was
goes so
ready
south.
to go Veronica from Plathville, and
Hmm.
nothing was going to stop her from that. He tries to say like, let's talk about this in private, but she keeps going and saying no. I have low self-confidence and you never give me compliments. And Vanessa's like, I think you're overreacting. But
Right? It's like, oh, I didn't know we were doing this.
I think she had a point that he shouldn't gloss over, because it's not wrong that she wants the reassurance. And if you feel like someone is distant, sometimes you don't want to ignore your instinct. It's like, are you attracted to me or not? And if you're not, don't let me waste my time. But again, it's just the delivery, emotions,
Yeah.
delivery. Sabrina has everything: the emotions, the insecurity, and the immaturity, because there's no reason this should have been here for everyone, because you ruined it for everybody. And then everyone's
Everybody.
staring. Everyone's like,
They
what?
had that one shot of that. Was that Kim who was just like
Yeah.
looking awkwardly up at the ceiling and down at the
Yeah,
floor? Like, people are trying to look anywhere else but at y'all two right now.
yeah. Because he does go overboard when she mentions, like, don't think that I don't notice when you look at Kim, because Kim is his
Right?
type. Brunettes and stuff. I was like, oof. Yeah, that's
Oh
a
my
lot
god.
now.
Oh
That's
no,
a
I'm just
lot.
like, and not for nothing, but like Sabrina is shockingly good looking.
Yeah,
So like, this is not like, okay, you're not his ordinary type at no point. And this is why, body dysmorphia is so wild. But at no
yeah.
point should a woman who looks like that be like, oh, I just don't think I'm pretty. I don't think he's gonna find me attractive. Like, have you seen you? I don't get it.
I think I'm still also still stuck by all these dating shows and types. Like, just because you dated a brunette doesn't mean like that is it forever. But maybe because I'm speaking as someone who doesn't necessarily have a type, but I don't. I
Oh,
just
I'm the verse. I'm the opposite of that.
I realized as I was saying that, I was like, oh wait, Brian might disagree. No, but it's just like But at the same time, he decided to go ahead with it. And it wasn't like he saw her and was like, gross. No, he just, even if someone's different, you might grow. I don't know, but
True. Here's what I'll say. You could line up every girlfriend I've had since I was 17, and it looks like an age progression of the same character over the time of my life. It's the same thing over and over again. However, that doesn't mean that I don't find anybody else attractive. I don't have other features that I find attractive. It's like, this is
yeah,
what I'm drawn to. But if I'm
yeah,
in a situation where I'm going into it saying looks don't matter to me this time, it doesn't
yeah,
need to be 5'2" and brunette or below. Like, I
yeah.
have different things I can do this time around. Then when I see the person who doesn't match what I've always done, I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, like, this is what I signed up for.
Yeah.
She doesn't have like a peg leg. She doesn't have like a weird mole or something like that. Like, she's a good looking girl. And I don't think he has said or done anything to make her feel like I'm not attracted to you.
I
Just
think
that
he
this is
has.
not
I think he has.
maybe. But
Not doing anything.
the pictures is that's a point of contention. I don't know who to believe on that one.
Well, I think it's just not okay. What are the little things, right? What is it? I think once on the Perfect Match podcast, Jason and Asia were talking about how when you're married or when you're in a relationship and you're going back, no butts untouched. Like you just walking by and you just
That's
smack your
true.
partner's butt, you just do things like
Yeah.
that. Or you just always do little things that, like when my husband does it, I'm like, oh, it's so annoying. But secretly I'm like, he wants
Well,
me.
and if
Stuff
I
like
don't
that.
do it, we have problems.
Exactly. So he's not doing any of that. And you're already in a situation where, okay, am I something that he wants? And she's made it clear, I think, in the first part that I don't know if he's feeling me. And then you're still not doing anything. And then if I have to tell you, that's already a problem. It should be natural
Yeah.
where you're just letting me know that, oh, you feel attracted to me. So I think that's what
Yeah.
he's done. Not doing anything is it. He's trying to fight it and trying to fight for himself. But I think deep down he knows himself. Like someone can be cute, but they're just not for me. And I don't think
Yeah.
she's for him, but he's so, I don't want to say avoidant again, but he so wants to be do the right thing that he's not actually
Hmm.
saying what it is. So he says that no, but you're sexy, and she's like, yeah, you just want to fuck.
Oh my god.
I don't think there's anything he can say.
See, now here's the problem. Okay, it's difficult to be like, you talk all, I'm not your type all the time, this and that, but also you're trying to fuck around the clock. Well, then it can't be both. But again, that's why body dysmorphia is wild, because I think she, for whatever reason, the image she has of herself is not an accurate one.
Yeah,
And I think that she, because of that, you can't blame her for naturally looking for things that confirm what she already thinks.
bias. Hmm.
And so, yeah, like, confirmation bias is wild. But I'm just like, he's always trying to fuck, and also you don't think he thinks you're attractive. I'm
Well,
confused.
they're not having sex. Oh, you. Well, I mean,
Which is
but
like, well,
has that?
you just want to fuck. Okay, so let's fuck. I'm confused.
Well, has that stopped guys before? Even on maps, we've had people who've had sex with people, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not really
Oh,
attracted,
that's
but
true.
a hole is a
That's true.
hole."
And again, it's tough for me because it's the same character over and over again. So I never had the situation present itself for me. Like,
So yeah, I mean, I think also his gripe was like, "How am I just hearing about this for the first time in front of everybody? Like you never said
yeah.
anything." Like I always say, like you're the most beautiful girl among all the girls here, and she's like, "Well, it is what it is," and the party's over. Everyone's like, "Okay, bonne nuit, bye."
Yeah.
We're
Bon oui.
So they go back to the apartment and part two starts. He's like, "You're sexy." And, she's like, "No, you talk about your exes all the time. You show me their pictures with their filters and their horror faces." I'm like, girl,
And their boobs and asses up everywhere. Oh no.
that I'm naturally built. I don't have, I'm like, girl, to my knowledge, he was in an 8-year relationship and that. So how many exes are we talking? Is it just the one girl? Now I want to know who this ex is.
I
So,
have no idea. This is the most the insecurity comes out, I think, in general.
yep.
Because the story of this, I'm just very confused. Because he says, "Oh, I didn't just like get my phone and say, hey, let me show you all my exes. That'd be an insane thing for me to do." And she's
Hmm.
like, "No, that's exactly what you did." And he's like, "I think you asked to see pictures of my exes to, like, see what my type was like." And she's like, "No, I didn't want." He's like, "It doesn't make sense that I would just get my phone and look at my exes, though." Like,
Why
a
would I
lot
do
of
that?
this is
Oh,
fuzzy to me.
Why would I bring that smoke on myself? And Van Me just
Right? Why
seems
would I do that? I
so
know you.
meek and stuff. So who knows?
Oh,
She says she
oh.
regrets it the next morning. She apologizes. She says that, she shouldn't have done all that. And then she spins it. I don't know if I believe it that they're stronger for this because now they know how the other reacts. But in his eyes, I don't think he agrees with her. But they meet up with his
Mm-mm.
friends and his sister. His friends are straight up enamored by her. His friend is just like, good job. She's so hot. Oh my God. She looks
Yeah.
so good and all that. But the reason why we love this franchise is like he just straight up when he told you that he was Asian, how did you feel?
Right. Right.
And
How
then
did
she's
that go
like,
over?
I've never dated an Asian man before because I mean that wasn't the type of guy I was attracted to. I'm like, these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So his sister
Hey.
is quiet. They have a conversation. His sister's deduction is like they have like she has a strong personality, Sabrina that is. And she says like, but she also said she's possessive because they asked her what is it, and she's like, yeah, I'm a possessive. That's my toxic trait. And the sister says, and I quote, "Is that masking something pathological? Is she a psychopath?"
I said, I don't think she's a psychopath. I don't think it's that.
She's like, she will steamroll him, and I hope that this is not something toxic. I'm like,
My goodness gracious. Like, this is a lot. All right. Like, this is a whole lot. The possessive is a bad trait. She is saying and doing all of the things that would make me run in the opposite direction. That said, I don't think she's a psychopath. I don't think that's what's going on here.
what is your prediction?
Oh, no way. No way. I no. I think he says no. I think she would say yes, but I think he says no.
Okay. Okay. Finally, we go to Charles and Julie, our slow burn of a couple who, from jump, I just feel are gonna work. I hope
Mm-hmm.
nobody disappoints me, but um, when they're still in Morocco, Julie is confiding in Chloe, who I like their friendship, and
Yeah.
says, like, I can't, like, even in real life, I can't sleep with someone in the same bed immediately. I'm like, why are you on the show? You are robbing them of
Right.
an experience, but okay, what is it? Chloe says, it's fine. It's your time frame. Like, do whatever you need to do whenever you want to. And I don't know. I usually wish they remember that there are two people in a relationship. Yes, it's her time frame, but there's somebody else who that's important to them and they would like to not actually have sex, but like sleep in the same bed with their partner. Again, he's not doing
Bingo.
anything nefarious. So I don't
No.
know.
And well, not only sleep in the same bed, but like wake up in the same bed, have that talk time before you go to sleep. All of those things.
Hmm.
It's not. I'm not somebody who just gets in the bed and is immediately asleep. Like there's time that you spend before you fall asleep.
Yeah. He's still so into her. Regardless of all of that, he's patient with her,
He
but then he
is.
tells Chloe that he just needs to know that she's coming around. Like he's fine being patient, but not like that she's never gonna come around.
Mm-hmm.
So, a few moments later, we see that they're waking up in the same bed, with the teddy bear that we now know where he came from. Thanks,
Sorry, y'all.
God. So, I guess they have progressed because they have that postcoital smile on there.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that he was so patient that she fell in love with him and she feels so lucky to have him. He takes her to where he grew up. And, again, he had a tough childhood. His friends used to bring food for him. And he really does have a great attitude for everything that has happened. And he says, like, this is someone that he would like to start a family with and create that family that he never had. They are getting ready for the engagement party. He is looking forward to meeting up with Sarah. She's looking forward to meeting up with Sarah, but for different reasons. She just needs to get everything off the table. As soon as they get there and Sarah shows up, I like how Chloe went to Julie and is like, if you need me, I'm nearby. Tonight
Yep.
we fight.
Yep.
So they go talk and he explains himself again as to what happened. That the thing is that Julie just talked at his feelings and had something on there. And she's like, the only thing I'm not mad that you chose her, lies. But the reason that I was just mad was like you went against your word. You said you're going to choose this, that you weren't feeling open, that you didn't want to talk about intimacy. And I don't even mean sex, just as a couple and all that. So, anyways, they end with no hard feelings, and Charles is just like, I've chosen Julie, that's my fiance. I was like, you need to do a masterclass for these men who don't realize they're engaged and have all these weird conversations as if they're single.
Exactly that.
Then she goes to talk to Julie. Then Julie starts
Mm.
telling her, I don't appreciate you telling everyone I was the slut of the group, I was that and all that. Sarah says, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we did think you were the slut of the group.
Wild to double down.
Yeah, and no matter how much Julie was trying to like talk, she was kind of like trying to let me finish, let me say this. At the end of the day, I apologize. He chose you. It was good. So I wish you the best. And that was it. And I feel like Julie was pissed because she really couldn't say what she wanted to say because she already just gave the apology and that was
Yep.
it. But I'm glad that's done, honestly. And
Yeah.
just,
Thank
yeah,
God.
let's be
Well, we
done with
have the reunion still. I'm sure Sarah's gonna say something at the reunion that's gonna have us go, "Oh shit!"
it.
But
Yeah.
like, it's done for now.
Yeah, for now it is.
Yeah.
The producer just asked them about intimacy. She says it's all good and she smiles, and Charles confirms, like, we're sexually intimate and we're good in that area and we're all good. So, I mean, that's it for them. I am happy for them. I hope they continue with
Yeah.
that trajectory. They have they met each other's families?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they haven't. We haven't shown us. So maybe in the next batch. So the final thing that happens is like they go wedding dress tux feeding, and they're focused more on the wedding dress shopping. Really, the tuxes they just show them,
Hmm.
and that's it. You guys, I felt so bad that I went to look up Teddy Reiner's partner, and she's just his partner. Like I guess she was a model
Oh.
a long time ago, but she wasn't really known for anything, and her name is Luthna Plokus. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's it. But she gets to do solo, come in for the wedding dress. I still don't feel like it's her strong suit being a
It's
co-host.
better this time around. It's not. It's not great, but it's better.
Something, I
Maybe by
guess.
season 3 she'll be good at it.
Yeah. So they do
They're
their
getting a
wedding
season 2
dress.
from this.
Yes, everybody gets their dresses. I don't know. Chloe's dress gets an applause. I'm not sure why. It wasn't
Ah.
anything that stood out and all that kind of stuff. But either way, they get that. And then while they're there, Tatiana is rocking side to side. And she's like, guys, I have an announcement. I have decided I am not trying on a dress. The end. I will add that Yannick is there trying over his
Talk about James Bond. Like, come on, man.
and
Oh,
that's
how
how the
humiliating.
yeah, the next batch ends, and I'm just like, oh gosh, we are going to see. But it looks like he's still fighting for it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, this can go one of two ways. The most obvious is she's like, I'm basically done with this dusty dude, and like, I'm out of here. The other one, this could be an okey doke, where it's like, I'm not trying on a dress because I already have one, or a family heirloom passed
Uh,
down, or some
yeah,
made you look. I don't think that's what it is, and if it is, fuck you. I don't do that.
we didn't see her in the previews for the wedding.
I don't think so. But
Did
if
she?
I mean, if they're trying to have us think that she's gonna run and it's a head
Yeah,
fake, they wouldn't put her in there anyway.
yeah.
I don't think that's what it is. And if it is, shame on you. I think it's more like I've slept on it and this man is not worth my time. He wasted the time of the notary. I don't appreciate that. Like, I don't know where this is going to go, but uh, it seems more likely that she's going to bail and that he is going to be humiliated,
What
which
is
I'm
your
fine with that.
but what is your diagnosis on this couple though? Because I don't necessarily think Yannick is fully wrong, and I'm trying to also check my biases because Yannick gives fuckboy energy, but I
Hmm.
can't say that he's actually done something fuckboyish. Now, my his biggest crime to me is the planning the date and finding out that it was because he went to go play soccer with his friends and then
Hmm.
he didn't. That's crazy. But I know it's also because, again, mother in law is not wrong. He feels smothered with the child. But you had to have known when you choose someone with a child, dating is going to be differently. Yes, does Tatiana have that in the forefront and tries to defense mechanism and like throwing it out there, like break up with me before anything happens? Yes, she does. But
Hmm.
if you're choosing that you are going to do this, man up and stand up and say the things that you're going to do. That and the money, the 50-50. I don't know, he can feel some type of way, but again, open your mouth. So those are his two biggest
Yeah.
crimes to me. But other than that, I don't think like he necessarily had bad intentions. Like he just wanted to come here and
No.
fuck and then leave. I don't get
No.
that. But at the same time, Tatiana not standing up for him with the mom,
Hmm.
I
Mom
just
cussed him out and she didn't say shit about it.
what does that mean in the future? Like if something, because in the flip side, even for stories of daughters-in-laws and mother-in-laws, you want the husband to stand up for you and you want them to say
Hmm.
things, whatever. So just, is it a compatibility thing? Can they make it work? What is your expert
So,
opinion?
so my thing with Yannick, I think the specific issues that he had pointed to a bigger problem. I don't think he's got a lot of forethought. I don't think he's somebody who takes the initiative to like plan things and really sort of
He's not
put
intentional.
he's not intentional, and he doesn't put his relationship and his marriage first. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if I know that we have a perfume date that I have planned, I'm not playing soccer that morning. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting myself ready, I'm talking to my wife, finding out what kind of scents do you like. Maybe it's some bergamot you want in yours this time. I don't know. But like, we're talking about what we're going to be doing on the date. Then we go on the date. Then when we come back home, if I want to play soccer after that, I have banked some goodwill. I have planned a thing that I executed properly. And like, now I can go and do my thing. I think it's the lack of a thought process of like, is this going to be a bad thing? Is it going to make it harder for me to do the perfume date? Perfume date was 2 hours long, as she said. He could have gone home, showered, and then made it for like half of it. He
Mm-hmm.
showed up to meet the mom with no gift. Like, you got to bring a gift.
And
Bring a
announced
bottle of
it.
wine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. And he's like, oh, I didn't bring anything. I didn't have time. It's that kind of thing where it's like, well, you had time because this was on the schedule. So you could have gone yesterday and like gotten a bottle of wine and had it at the house already.
Yeah.
And so I think that being somebody who's married to a self-proclaimed logistics girly who is very, very type A and needs everything to have a plan, I
That's
have
right.
become that guy where it's
Yeah.
like, no, I look for things I can plan to show her that I value that part of her.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem to care that she's like very like regimented and type A on how she does shit, which she has to be as like a business owner with has the success and all that she
So,
has.
mhm.
And it's almost like he's treating her like she's somebody who is also is kind of floating through life. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I have this job. I don't know if I'm going to stay at it for a super long time, if it's a career or not. I'm just kind of taking each day as it comes. And like,
Yeah.
you can't do that as a business owner and a parent. And I think that she's picking up on this might be a symptom of something that could be a bigger problem for our whole relationship if I take this further.
Yeah, I think he's like a free spirit and she's regimented, and it's like, is it something time could cure?
Yeah. And you have to at least show that you acknowledge that as the free spirited person who's got, pictures I drew on the wall behind me right now. Like, you
Yeah.
have to show that I understand that this is something that's important to you. And so
Mhm.
here are some steps I'm going to take to show that I'm trying to get to where you want me to be. That's all it is. You got to try.
Do you think this is an EKG situation where he saw her business and he's like,
Oh,
"Oh shit,
oh
she
God.
actually is about that business and she makes more than me and all that stuff." Because
Oh,
honestly, everything changed after that notary, and I'm just like,
yeah.
what is it? Did he feel like she was going to be dependent on him or something, and then he saw the business and was like, "Oh, she's actually a
Oh, you
boss."
know what? Hey, I think you're right. And I think it's not necessarily that she makes more than him. It's she makes more than me and I'm financially responsible for this couple. And like,
Yeah.
that's bullshit. I don't want to do that. Fuck that. I'm not, you make the money and I'm paying for everything. So yeah, I think that could have been his kind of moment where it's like, things already aren't great.
Yeah.
And then you have this on top of it. Like, I'm ready to bounce.
Well, I'm curious to see what he says at the reunion,
Yeah,
but
same.
I guess it's safe to say that's not going to happen. Even if they make it to the altar, somebody's saying no. So,
Ain't gonna happen.
okay. Fun as usual, Brian. Please tell people where they can find you.
Yep, you can find me at Maps Virgin. We are covering Married at First Sight season 10 right now. That's the DC season. It is a complete fucking train wreck. You can also follow us on Instagram and threads at Maps Virgin. And then we have a Facebook group, Maps Virgin Fan Club. I do memes. This was an especially photogenic episode. So I've got a lot to post this week. But we also have a YouTube channel. It's Maps Virgin. I need to post more often there, like I said, when we recorded last time. When the new season begins, every episode will go onto the YouTube as well. I will commit to that right now. It's been recorded and this is my voice.
That's a lot of commitment, Brian.
I said it though, and now here we are. So I forced myself to do it.
All right, guys, you can find me on all of the social medias. It is Alta Call MAFS. Share with us. What do you think? Emotions, insecurity, immaturity? What do you think is the biggest drawback for these people? your answer cannot be a combination of all three because they have all of it. Please give me a 5-star rating. I have been trying to reach 200 5-star, well, 200 ratings, not 5-star, but that would be great on Spotify. So if you're so inclined, please just go ahead and do that. And stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any episodes. I come out with episodes every week. So until then, guys, bye.